G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So today's video I just wanted to run through the details of the upcoming EZAs for the AGL Super Saiyan Gohan as well as the INT Perfect Cell. It has been like nearly 6 weeks since we did get these EZAs on JP, so probably thought it'd be a good idea just to run through a bit of a refresher before they do drop on global in approximately 60 hours time for those that are really counting down here. So I'll just quickly whip through what he did previously. I won't waste your time too much here. So leader skill was Kamehameha 3 key 130 HP and then the 170 attack and defense with the AGL 3 key 120% leader skill. Super attack effect, we were raising defense on both 12 and 18 key, being the only difference the Mega Colossal Multiplier. And then for the passive, very, very basic, we got the attack and defense 100%, key +1, and an additional 10% attack and defense for each turn up until the 5 key and 70% attack and defense. So awakening condition, look, the transformation doesn't matter because that stays the exact same post EZA. So here's where we jump a little bit more in depth. So the Kamehameha category jumps up to a full 3 key 180%. That is definitely very, very runnable. At 180%, you're losing out on 20%. And on a lot of these 200% leader skills, you are often using units that are only getting the 170% anyway. So I definitely think this one's going to be super powerful considering how good the Kamehameha category is, full of a lot of top tier LRs especially. So jumping in, we also have the 3 key 130% to AGL, which is also going to be very, very good for Battlefield, which is probably a little bit of an underrated, perspective of this unit because when it comes around to take on Broly, I know a lot of people will be looking forward to this guy coming in absolutely pounding there. So super attack effect, again, just stays as the raising defense, colossal damage, but we also get some lowering attacks, so it does give this guy a little bit more value in SBR, Battlefield against Broly, like I said, with the debuff there. Always handy just to get lowering attacks. So then we get on the 18 key, still raising defense, causing the Mega Colossal, which is the exact same, but we get the greatly lowers attack. So exactly what I said before, except double it. So if you're firing that off in ESBR, you're going to be really dwindling down those attack stats from the enemies, which is super, super clutch. So jumping into the passive, now we're jumping up to 150%, so that was an extra 50% straight off the bat. You get the key +2 and the additional attack and defense +20%, so that's doubled from what it was beforehand, and it also can now jump up to 8 key and the extra 80% attack and defense. So the key is an extra 3 and the attack and defense is an extra 10%, but you are also building it up twice as fast. So we definitely won't be complaining about that. Here's where it gets a bit nutty. So we have the guards, all attacks, and high chance to launch an additional super when HP is 58% or more. Now I like to think that we are sitting above that HP threshold far more often than we are not. We are quite often not dwindled down when taking on difficult content. We're just getting absolutely blasted in one shot. So this guy is more often than not going to be guarding and have a high chance to launch an additional super, which means that when he does get that high chance, which is 50% buff, we could potentially be getting 3 stacks off in a turn, which is going to be crazy. This Gohan is super, super good. And then we'll switch across to Super Saiyan 2. We won't even bother with his before awakening because, you barely saw him. Anyways, this guy's actually got a little bit of a buff because by utilizing the gammas, you can get his awakening active quite a bit easier. So you can see here for the 12 key, we're getting greatly raised as attack and defense 1 turn, causing Mega Colossal. So one of the few LRs that does have a 12 key Mega Colossal multiplier, which is dope. And then on the Ultra Super, we've got the greatly raised attack and defense 1 turn again. Causes Mega Colossal and then greatly lowers attack and defense. So again, just like the pre-transform state gives this guy some usability, but it is going to be difficult to get him out. So passive is quite long here, but we have changes tech key spheres to AGL key spheres for 4 turns from the first appearance. We get 158% attack and defense at the start of turn, which is a pretty solid number there. You get 20% attack and 10% key sphere per key, 10% defense per key sphere obtained. So a nuker, this guy's, if you're getting him a good field of orbs, he's going to put out some crazy good numbers. You get the extra 1 key per key sphere obtained. So not only is he changing tech to AGL, but he's also changing key spheres, not AGL and tech, to rainbow. So it is very often that you're going to be able to get this guy a ton of orbs to really activate that nuking ability. But that is when you are only facing one enemy. So launches an additional super attack when facing multiple enemies, so you lose some orb changing but gain an additional super. High chance of launching additional super attack, and high chance of performing a crit when HP is 58% or below, and then plus an additional 59% attack and launches an additional super attack if HP is 59% or below or more when launching an ultra super attack. So this guy can perform, that is with the Goku in the turn, Super Saiyan Goku I should say. This guy can perform multiple super attacks while nuking. Pretty much if you get to this Gohan and you have a good turn, it's just GG's. I'm not sure that there is any boss that can survive this Gohan when he is at his best. Like, I can't even imagine popping a Ghost Usher and letting this guy go to work in slot 1. He would just demolish, especially if you have a unit that's supplying support. He's got the Super Saiyan Goku LRs that'll activate all 7 key. He's just absolutely busted. Really looking forward to him dropping. So then we move on to Cell. Again, we'll just quickly whip over the before EZAs. So we've got the Android Cell Saga 4 key, 150 and 170. The leader skill's fine, was beforehand. Then you had, like the Gohan, the INT 3 key, 120. His super attack effects, not crash hot, causes colossal damage and then greatly lowers defense, and then greatly raises attack and causes mega colossal. Yeah, pretty average before the EZA, and then base 180% attack and defense, raises defense by 80% the more HP remaining, the greater the boost. Then you get the additional key +1 and attack 20% per enemy. So there wasn't much to really work with this cell pre-EZA. So post-EZA we get the defense on super on his 12 key, which is really solid. He definitely needs that. But the unfortunate thing is that his ultra super attack, he only greatly raises attack. So that means that you're not getting any defense on that super. He does lower attack, which is, as I mentioned, very useful in things like Battlefield, Super Battle Road. But yeah, would have definitely preferred if he'd raised defense on that super as well. Also forgot to mention that his Android Cell Saga does become 4 key 180%, and the INT boost is the 3 key 130% as well. So really good in terms of like Battlefield leader skill. Probably not the ideal team, the Android Cell Saga. I can definitely think of other top tier teams I'd be running, but maybe if you wanted to give him a crack, like, that's definitely not the worst leader skill in the world. So his passive, he gets the 120% attack and defense, raises defense by 120%, more HP remaining, so that's an extra 40%, and the 120% is also an extra 40%. You also get the additional 2 key and attack 30% per existing enemy, which is a 10% boost from the previous, and then you get plus an additional attack and defense 50% when performing a super attack, high chance of launching an additional super attack, and then yeah, transform when you're 40% HP or less, which did get buffed up by 10%. So if you're going for 12 keys, this guy could potentially triple super depending on your hidden potential, but he does leave a bit to be wanted, unfortunately. So we won't bother going through the transformed cells details post EZA, before EZA. We'll just focus on the post EZA. So as you can see here, we now greatly raise defense on the 12 key super, which is huge. That's a 50% buff. Causes mega colossal again, like the Gohan, one of the few units that do that. And then massively lowers defense buffs don't mean a great deal in this, I guess, meta of the game. Then we've got the greatly raised attack and defense. Again, huge, and then causes mega colossal and greatly lowers attack and defense. So the attack and defense does definitely give some value. The attack, as I mentioned, going to help out in Super Battle Road, Battlefield type of events there. So when you do get that transformation, we do recover full HP once. That was the exact same as previously. Randomly changes key spheres of certain type other than int to rainbow. And you also get 6 key. So there's a huge boost to him getting to that 24 key, which you'll see why is important later. And then 180% start of turn, which a buff. So that's definitely really good to have a nice start of turn buff in there. High chance of launching an additional super attack. So as we did speak about before, he does get the 50% buff there. So another unit that can perform 3 supers. And then here's where he gets a little bit interesting, because he does reduce damage by 3% per key sphere obtained. Being an orb changer, maybe you can get him around that 10 orb range. That's going to get you 30% damage reduction on top of his already pretty solid defense there. This guy can definitely get really nutty. So there is extra boost here, because we can get an additional attack and defense 30% when we get 4 or more key spheres, another additional 40%. An additional 40% on top of that when we get 6 or more key spheres, plus an additional 50% when you get 8 or more key spheres. So, as I mentioned, if you get that 10 key spheres, you get 30% damage reduction, and you also get 120% extra attack and defense, which is absolutely insane. You also get plus an additional 100% and high chance of performing a crit when the active skill or 24 key is reached. So this cell is absolutely busted. The only issue is getting him out. You got to get onto that 40% threshold. But if you do get this guy out, he's super insane. If we get some better linking partners for him, I can't wait to see the type of numbers that he'll be able to put out there. So he does also have the active skill, and that greatly raises attack while causing ultimate damage and massively lowering defense. It's free damage. I still think it is a pretty cool animation. But yeah, this cell definitely makes the EZA worthwhile, even if the base cell is not the craziest. So there you go, guys. That's the refresher for the details of this cell and Gohan. Let me know which one of the two you're looking forward to a little bit more. I imagine most people are going to be really hyped for this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content. And hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.